So today we are going to discuss the topic on another counting principle in the course Algebra 1. First we see the definition of normalizer of an element. Suppose A is an element in the group G, then we can define the normalizer of an element A is nothing but the set of all elements of the form x belongs to G such that xa is equal to Ax. That is, we conclude that we find the set of elements in the group G which are commute only with A. Then if this property is satisfied by the elements of group G, then we can frame a normalizer of an element A belongs to G. So we can construct a normalizer for every element in the group G. Suppose if you take B as an element, then we can find the normalizer of an element B as n of B is equal to the set of all elements of the form x belongs to G such that xb is equal to bx. This is the definition of the normalizer of an element. Next we prove that the normalizer of an element is a subgroup of G. So we know that whenever we prove that it is a subgroup, we can verify the closure property and the inverse property alone. So we take two elements, individually we are proving that. First we give the definition. N of A is equal to the set of all elements of the form x belongs to G such that xa is equal to Ax. So now we know that the n of A is nothing but the set of elements of G. So therefore n of A is a subset of group G. Now we take two elements in the n of A. Let x comma y belongs to n of A. Since x and y are belongs to n of A, it satisfies the condition xa is equal to Ax and ya is equal to Ay. Now we find the value of, we are going to prove that whenever x comma y belongs to n of A, xy also belongs to n of A. Whenever this is true, this is possible only when xy commute with A. That is, we have to show that xy of A equal to A of xy. Now we write xy of A can be written as xy into A equal to x into ya. Then but we know that ya is equal to ay. So therefore replace ya by ay. Now x into ay can be written as ax into y, because in a subset, since G is a group, in every subset of a group G, the associativity property is valid. So therefore x into ay can be written as ax into y. But by the definition of n of A, Ax is equal to xa. So again we are applying the associativity property Ax into y equal to A of xy. So hence we have proved that xy commutes with A. So therefore xy belongs to n of A. So now closure property we have verified. Next we verify the inverse property. You take x belongs to n of A. So therefore by the definition of n of A, so x commutes with A, that is xa is equal to Ax is true. Now post multiply by x inverse, we get xa into x inverse is equal to Ax into x inverse. But x into x inverse is equal to identity element we know E. So therefore A into E equal to A. Now xa into x inverse is equal to A, we have proved it. Now next pre-multiply by x inverse, we will get x inverse into Ax inverse is equal to x inverse A. But x inverse x is equal to, we know that identity element E. So therefore Ax inverse is equal to x inverse A, we can prove it. Now we have shown that x inverse commutes with A. Therefore x inverse belongs to n of A. Now we have verified the closure property and inverse property. So therefore n of A is a subgroup of the group G. The proof is over. So next we prove the theorem. let us take a finite group G. Now we are going to prove that the equivalence class of the element A, Ca, is nothing but the number of elements of the group G divided by number of elements of the normalizer of an element A, that is order of n of A. In other words, we can show that the number of the elements conjugate to A in G is nothing but the index of the normalizer of A in G. That we are going to prove it now. Ca represents the equivalence class of A, and order of G represents the number of elements in the group G, and order of n of A represents the normalizer of number of elements in the normalizer of an element A. Now to prove this, Ca equivalent to order of G divided by order of n of A, we prove that there is an one-to-one correspondence between the conjugate classes of A and the right cosets of n of A. To prove the one-to-one correspondence, whenever the domain elements are equal, we can show that the corresponding codomain elements are also same. Now you take two elements in x comma y belongs to G. We assume that both elements x, y are in the same right cosets of n of A in G. So therefore, now the element y can be written as y equal to n into x, where n belongs to n of A. Right coset means whenever you multiply the elements of the group G to the right side, we will get right cosets of the form. Now y equal to nx, where x belongs to G and n belongs to n of A. So therefore, if you are able to write any element in the form of n into x, where n belongs to n of A and x belongs to G, then we call it is a right coset element. Y equal to n of x we have written like this. Since we have assumed that n is an element belongs to n of A, it must commute with A. Whenever n belongs to n of A, just now we have proved that n of A is a subgroup of group G. So therefore, inverse exists. Whenever n belongs to n of A, n inverse also belongs to n of A. And also we know that y equal to nx imply. So now here y inverse is equal to nx the whole inverse. But we know that nx the whole inverse can be written as x inverse into n inverse. So therefore, y inverse is equal to x inverse into n inverse. Now we can find the value of y inverse ay is equal to x inverse n inverse into ay. Now x inverse you take n inverse and a, we can club it. So n inverse into a, y. But we know that n inverse a equal to a into n inverse. So therefore we replace n inverse a by a into n inverse. We get x inverse into, within brackets you write a inverse into then y. Now this can be, again we club it with a inverse, can be a can be clubbed with the x inverse a into n inverse y. We can write it as, but y is equal to nx. So therefore we replace y by nx. We get x inverse a into n inverse into n into x. So but n inverse into n is equal to e, identity element. So therefore we get x inverse a into e into x. While we are multiplying by e with a, we will get a. So therefore x inverse into ax. Now we have proved that y inverse ay is equal to x inverse ay. So therefore the element x comma y belongs to n of a. Next, in the initial case we have proved that x and y are the belongs to the same right cosets of n of a. In the other hand, we proved that we assumed that the elements x and y belongs to are in the different right cosets of n of a. So whenever the elements x and y belongs to different right cosets, then we can show that y inverse ay not equal to x inverse ax. We prove the method by the contradiction basis. Suppose y inverse ay is equal to x inverse ax, then what will happen? Pre-multiply by y with on both sides, we get y into y inverse into ay equal to y into x inverse into ax. But we know that y into y inverse is equal to e, identity element. E into a equal to a. So ay equal to y into x inverse into ax. Again, post multiply by x inverse, we get ay into x inverse is equal to y x inverse into a into x inverse. But x into x inverse is equal to identity element, we get yx inverse into a. So therefore we have proved that a into yx inverse is equal to yx inverse into a. This shows that a into yx inverse is equal to y into x inverse a, means that we can say that yx inverse commutes with a. So by the definition of normalizer of an element a, yx inverse belongs to n of a. So therefore, whenever yx inverse belongs to n of a, y belongs to na of x. That is right coset. So this is a contradiction. Why we have taken x and y are the belongs to two different same right cosets of n of a. Since x and y are in the different right cosets of n of a, so Ca is equal to order of g divided by order of n of g. We have proved it. So next we see the corollary. The corollary is nothing, it states that the number of elements of the group G is equal to summation order of G divided by order of n of A, where the sum runs over the each element A in each conjugate class. But we know that the union of the conjugate classes of an element equal to the full group G, we will form it. So now the equivalence classes are identical. Now from this we can show that order of G is nothing but the number of elements of the group G is nothing but the sum of the number of elements in the conjugate classes of all the elements A, Ca, where A runs over the elements of the group G, summation Ca, in each conjugate class. Now thus we have proved that order of G, number of elements of the group G equal to summation order of G divided by summation order of n of A. This corollary can be verified by using the problem easily, and we can easily understand it, where the sum runs over the elements A in each conjugate class. This is called the class equation. Order of G equal to summation order of G divided by order of n of A represents the class equation. So next we see one problem related to equivalence class. Verify the class equation by the Klein's four group. Class equation is order of G is equal to summation order of G divided by order of n of A. We verify the class equation for the Klein's group. We know that where the sum runs over the elements of A in each conjugate class. We know that the normalizer of A is nothing but the set of elements of the form x belongs to G such that which are all commute only with A, xa is equal to Ax. Now we take the Klein's group as G equal to 1A, B, C. We already studied in the lower classes plus 2 and in UG also. Now we find the normalizer of an element 1. That 1 is nothing but the set of elements of the form x belongs to G. Those are elements with commute only with 1. So x into 1 is equal to 1 into x. We can give different values for x. Suppose if you give x is equal to 1, 1 dot 1 equal to 1 dot 1. So therefore 1 belong to n of A. The element 1 in G which commute with 1. Similarly, the element A in G with commute with 1 also. A dot 1 equal to 1 dot A. So therefore A belongs to n of A. Similarly, you take an element B belongs to group G, then that B will also commute with 1. That is B dot 1 equal to 1 dot B. So therefore B also belongs to n of A. Similarly, if you take C as an element in group G and this C will also commute with 1. So therefore C dot 1 equal to 1 dot C. So therefore this C will also belongs to n of A. So thus we have found out the normalizer of an element A, which is nothing but again 1 A B C. This is the entire group G. Similarly, we can find the equivalent normalizer of an element B. N of B is nothing but the set of all elements X belongs to G such that X into B equal to B into X. So therefore N of B consists of the set of elements only commute with B. அது கூட commute ஆகிற மட்டும் எடுக்கணும். So அப்போ X into B equal to B into X. So now all the elements, if you take 1 into B equal to 1 into B equal to B into 1, that will also commute. Similarly, B into B equal to B into B, that will also commute. And C, if you take C into B equal to B into C, that is also commute. So therefore every element of X belongs to G which commute with B. So therefore N of B is also 1A B C. N of C is nothing but the set of elements X belongs to G which commute with only in C. So therefore here also we can show that every element 1A in G commutes with C. So therefore N of C is nothing but 1A B C. So therefore we have identified the normalizer of 1 A B and C. Here we can see the here only we can understand that where the summation runs over the each conjugate class A அப்படினு பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா, that meaning is here understood. We find the some order of G for each normalizer of an element. So therefore the number of elements of the group G we apply in the class equation. Summation order of G is equal to number of elements of the group G divided by number of elements in the normalizer of an element 1 plus number of elements in the group G divided by number of elements in the normalizer of an element A, and plus the number of elements in the group G divided by number of elements in the normalizer of the element B, and the number of elements in the group G divided by number of elements in the normalizer of an element C. So now we have just now we have proved that order of n of 1 equal to 4, order of n of A equal to 4, order of n of B equal to 4, order of n of C equal to 4. Order nothing but the number of elements in the respective normalizer of an elements. So therefore already the group G consists of 4 elements. So therefore the final answer will be like this. Order of G is equal to 4 is equal to 4 by 4. Order of G divided by order of A is nothing but 4 by 4, and order of G 4 by 4, 4 by 4, 4 by 4. So therefore this is the class equation is satisfied on both sides. So we have verified the class equation for the with the help of the Klein's group of order 4. It consists of elements 1A, B, C. Similarly we can find the we can verify the class equation for the group of order S3. S3 nothing but the permutations of the group, it consisting of 6 permutations that we have already discussed. E identity permutation, and 1 2 1 3, then 2 3 1 2 3, and 3 2 1 are the 6 permutations. So we find the normalizer for each permutation, that is N of E. N of E is nothing but the set of elements X belongs to S3 such that each commute with E. So all the elements of S3 will commute with E. So therefore N of E consists of the full set, entire set S3. Similarly N of 1 2 is nothing but the set of elements in the group S3 which commute only with 1 2. So therefore E and the identity permutation under the 1 2 are commute with 1 2. So therefore N of 1 2 consists of only 2 permutations E and 1 2. Similarly the normalizer of 1 3 consists of only 2 elements E and 1 3. So here also we are finding the normalizer of identity permutation E normalizer of the permutation 1 2, normalizer of the permutation 1 3, and normalizer of the permutation 2 3. Next we find it now. Normalizer of permutation 2 3 nothing but the identity permutation E and the permutation itself 2 3, and normalizer of 1 2 3 is nothing but the identity permutation E and the permutation 1 2 3 and another permutation 1 3 2. So therefore normalizer of 1 2 3 consists of 3 elements. Normalizer of 1 3 2 also consists of 3 elements, but the remaining normalizer of 1 2, normalizer of 1 3, normalizer of 2 3 consists of 2 elements each. But the number of normalizer of an identity permutation consists of 6 elements, because the 6 3 S3 elements. So therefore again we have verified the class equation. Class equation is nothing but number of elements of the group G is equal to order of G divided by order of n of identity permutation E plus order of G divided by order of n of 1 comma 2, that is nothing but 2, and order of G divided by order of 1 2 3 3. The repetition is here, since the other values are repeated twice, that is normalizer of 1 2 is 2, normalizer of 2 3 is 2, normalizer of 1 3 is also 2. The repetition is discarded here. We are considering only one value alone. So therefore 6 by 6 plus 6 by 2 plus 6 by 3, you get 1 plus 3 plus 2. Here the normalizer of the order of the normalizer of 1 2, 2 3, 1 3 are nothing but 2. So therefore which repeated 3 times. So therefore we avoid it. Only one case we are considering. So that's why we have restricted this equation here. Here also the number of elements in the n of 1 2 3 and n of 1 3 2 are 3. So which is a repetition, we avoid the repetition, we consider only one value. So therefore 6 by 6 plus 6 by 2 plus 6 by 3, we will get 6. This is nothing but again equivalent to number of elements of the group G. Here the group G is nothing but S3, the set of all permutations S3, that we have discussed in the earlier classes. So thank you students. We see the next again in the PPT again. Okay, thank you.